Alright, so it's finally happening. Black Bolt, White Flare, 2 ETBs from the Pokemon Center. That means 11 packs each for 22 packs total. Very excited to rip into these. Very excited to show you the cards. They're still going to be my cards, but I'm going to share them with you visually. It's kind of like I'm inviting you to my birthday party to watch me open presents, but you can look at them and enjoy them all the same. If you haven't watched this channel before, hit subscribe. That would be awesome. I'd love to see you again. You can also like this video or just keep watching. Just have a great time. We have a lot of packs to rip into, so we're going to do that now, but just remember that there's a ton of cool illustration rares in this set, which is technically a double set, Black Bolt, White Flare. So we're going to go one by one and compare cards, see what we pull. Thanks again for being here. Let's go. All right, we've got both of them here, but we're gonna start with Black Bolt. So interesting to me how this set kind of snuck up. I feel like there's so much hype around Distant Rivals, and people obviously care about this set, as they've been caring about every Pokemon set recently. The hype is still very real, but I don't feel like this has the same pull that a Team Rocket set does, at least in terms of nostalgia factor. But something about a double set is still pretty exciting. It's a fun gimmick, and the fact that we've got ETBs now from both, it's gonna be a really cool way to compare. Obviously, we have our normal accoutrement here for an ETB, specifically for Pokemon Center. We've got a really nice promo card here. Thundurus is not exactly my favorite Pokemon, but not going to complain about the promo. Have our energy cards. They've got kind of a checkered pattern in the background, which makes sense for Black Bolt, White Flare. I do like how each set in the Scarlet Violet era has slightly different energy cards to tell them apart. Obviously, we have our card sleeves here. The typical counters for conditions and for damage. I appreciate that we have some slightly different colored dice here that kind of match the theme. I mean, they do match the color coordination for Black Bolt, whereas some of the dice with the other sets I've noticed were seemingly repackaged. And then most importantly, we have our cards. 11 packs. I mean, that's so many packs. So I'm really hoping we get something exciting out of this. Let's dive in with pack 1. I'm assuming the pack trick is going to be the same. And seems like we're right. Man, I actually really do like this energy pattern now that we're talking about it. I'm seeing some familiar faces. Girder, Cincino, Crustle, Amoonguss, Professor's Research. Wow, the reverse hollows are actually sick. You see the Pokeball print with the hollow print, especially reflective just on the Pokeball. Really cool, actually. And I guess that is a special one because this does not have that. This is honestly barely reflective at all. Followed by a Superior EX. So that's going to be our first rare. Not a bad start. Pack 2. It looks like we've got a special energy here. This is a reverse hollow. Absolutely gorgeous. I had no idea. This is what I'm telling you, that I did not research this set that much because I wanted to be surprised. That's what I'm talking about. I had no clue. Darumaka, Solosis, Timpole, Pheasant, Prism Energy. That's cool. I would like to get a hollow of that. That would be sick. I guess I'll just put that in the regular pile here. Darmanitan, Victini Reverse, and a Poniard Reverse, followed by a Landorus Hollow. And you'll see that the hollow pattern actually is slightly different than what we're used to. It's more reminiscent of this, the streaks you have on this hollow energy here. All right, so the third pack, we have A metal energy. I thought it was hollow for a second just because of the kind of brushed pattern there. Fungus, Larvesta, Sandile, Elegem, Scolipede, another Prism Energy, Tortuga, Alamomola, and Pida reverse, followed by a Beartic hollow. So what I'm noticing about the art here is we're getting a lot of like more cartoony, illustrative stuff, nothing too complex. A lot of it looks like it could have been ripped from an anime or animated show. This is our fighting energy here. Sandile, Maractus, Drillbur, Larvesta, Scolipede, Musharna, Throw, kind of a interesting illustration there. Golett reverse, Klinklang reverse, and Victini. That's a fun Victini. Alright, another hollow energy, this time dark energy, looks very cool. Mincino, Clang, Solosis, Audino, Escavalier, Electros, Energy Coin, Seismitoad, we got the cool Pokeball print there, Darumaka, and Thunderous. So far, no illustration rares, just 4 regular ones and an EX. We'll see if that streak continues, but I'm enjoying the hollow energies. That's kind of a nice bonus. Fire Energy, Clang, Cubchoo, Pidove, Carablast, Fennel, Amoonguss, Cincino, Petalil, Cryogonal reverse, and a Zekrom EX. So another EX card. This is a little bit more of the art style I was expecting for this set based on the promotional and box arts, kind of slightly more CGI. But instead what I'm noticing is that a lot of the art is kind of reminiscent of like Journey Together. It's like a lighter, happier style, which surprised me. Alright, a regular dark energy here. Venipede, Emolga, Snivy, Munna, Seismitoad, Musharna, End's Plan. Okay, speaking of Journey Together, Elegem, Prism Energy, this time reverse. Cool, I was hoping to get one of those. And Conkeldurr. Whoa, hollow lightning energy. That might be the best part of this set so far to me, is these hollows. I also want to point something out here. When you look in the bottom corner at the set name, what you're seeing here is that it does say black for Black Bolt. So Black Bolt and White Flare do not share the same set code in the bottom left corner there. Just a note. I just think it's interesting that they kind of kept it separate like that. Poniard, Tynamo, Axew, Tortuga, Air Balloon, Bisharp, Sandile with the Pokeball print, Behem, and our first of the full arts, we got a Genesect EX. Love the purple with the shine of blue here. Very cool card. Does have texture. It is not the special illustration rare, but it is really nice. So nothing too insane yet, but we definitely got some cool cards. It's not a bust. You'd hope when you're opening 11 packs, something would pop out. It's Leaf Energy, Rufflet, Timpole, Petalil, Timber, Cryogonal, Behem, Professor's Research, Timber Reverse, Audino Reverse, and Thunderous Hollow. So something that I like to point out with the way these sets are now is there are not that many rares, but you get these standard rares in every pack, and as a result, getting doubles of them is quite common, to the point where sometimes they're more common, I feel, than even an uncommon card. It just has to do with how Pokemon has essentially made the ultra rare and full art cards and SIRs the real rares now, but it's kind of a bummer because it takes away the fun from the standard holos you get. They just don't feel special anymore. Panpour, Crustle, Ends Plan, Lilligant, Servine Pokeball Print. Whoa, Crustle. This is just a regular full art rare, but it is pretty fun, and it's our first one for this set. And it's followed by, no way, a full art Ends Plan. That is pretty sick, actually. Well, I gotta say, that was a nice pack. Alright, we've just got one more for the Black Bolt ETB. So I'm not expecting anything too crazy because we did get some nice hits. It would be unusual, I think, to hit anything extra here. But last pack magic, as they say. Krokorok, again, this is like one of those commons that we just opened 10 packs. We got all these doubles. This is the first of this, I believe, we've gotten so far. Ponyard. Pansage, again, seems new. Panpour. Simisage. Reuniclus. That's gotta be what it is. Bisharp. Amoonguss. Conkeldurr, and last one is Haxorus. I don't need any more of these. I'm burnt out on Haxorus from, what was that, Shrouded Fable? So look, this is what we're looking at in terms of our hits for the Black Bolt box. I am including the holo energies here just because I think they're so cool. I don't think they're particularly rare. The fact that we got 3 of them means they're probably not too uncommon, but I do think that they add a nice dimension to the set. And when you consider the other full art cards that we got here, including, I really like this Superior EX, I think we did really well. I might have overdid it. So now we move on to White Flare. And we did truck through that one. It didn't take too long. I didn't linger as much as I like to on the arts because I knew we would have more to get through. So no major surprises, I'm sure. We've got the player's guide and what you just saw essentially with Black Bolt. Same checkered pattern here. Let me just tilt the camera up to get a slightly better view here, cross-sectional. Again, we have our standard energies. Our card covers, as well as the Tornadus promo, which, just for comparison with the Thunderous promo from Black Bolt. Condition markers are the same. Dice are a little bit different. Again, love to see that. Color coordination is much appreciated when you're putting together these boxes. And then again, our packs here, pretty slick. Let's get into White Flare, pack 1. All right, off rip we have a holo metallic energy, Woobat, Patrat, Blitzel, Zwellius, Hilda, Swoobat, Swanna, that's pretty cool. Blitzel with the Pokeball pattern, Ignition Energy in reverse, and a Jellicent EX. So both packs we've gotten EXs immediately for both sets, that is. White Flare number 2. It'll be interesting to see kind of like if there's any crossover here in terms of the Pokemon involved. Dark Energy, Swadloon, Gothorita, Zorua, Litwick, Watchog. cool, like, Minecraftian sort of art there. I don't know if you can see. Garbodor, Simisear, Zweilous, a reverse of the Samurott, and Tornadus. Trying to keep my camera in focus. Apologies. Alright, Water Energy, Cottony, Litwick, Frillish, Ferroseed, Scrafty, Brave Bengal, Gigalith, Litwick Reverse, Sharon, and Zork. Fire Energy, Ducklet. Listen, if you were thinking to yourself, there are not enough duck Pokemon in the Pokemon universe, don't you worry. Deerling, Boldore, Vullaby, Leaveney, Stoutland, Sigilyph, Vanillish. Whoa! Full Art Cottony. Really cool looking. Followed by Archeops. First full art of the White Flare era. Still have several packs to go. Alright, Fighting Energy, Trubbish, Oshawott, Yamask, Boldore, Mandibuzz, Tool Scrapper, Druddigon, Zorua in the Pokeball pattern, Excelgor Reverse, and Emboar. Leaf Energy, Vanillish, Lampent, Plume Fossil, Antique Plume Fossil. The value of this one goes up just on that word alone. I'm kidding. Swaddle, Fairthorn, Gigalith, Energy Retrieval. Nice to see an old school card like that back in the mix. Pansear with the Pokeball print. And wow, a Whimsicott EX. Wait, what's behind it? Keldeo EX. Beautiful. What a great 1-2 punch here. The fact that we have the full art Cottony, and then we also have the Whimsicott, which, given the texture and the 2 stars here, is going to be an even more rare card. So we're doing okay here. In both sets now, we've gotten some decent pulls where it's going to be hard to be mad if we don't pull much from this point on. But we've got the Hollow Energy, Pignite, Dewott, Swadloon. Notice we're not seeing a lot of crossover of these Pokemon from Black Bolt, which I appreciate. Sawsbuck, Pignite, and a full art Pansear, and a Gothitelle. Wow. We're kind of on a roll, aren't we? And I remember in the lead up to these sets releasing, we heard that there was going to be a ton of illustration rares, but it wasn't clear if the rarity would change at all, if these would be easier to get because there would be more of them, or if there would just be a lot of elusive cards this set. Vanillite, Purloin, Lillipup, Tepig, Swanna. I really like this Swanna. It reminds me of early Dragonair. Heatmore, Ignition Energy, Mienshao, Frillish, and Samurott for our rare card. Just a few more packs left. Lightning Energy, Herdier, Vanillite, Joltik, Gothorita, Heatmore, Sigilyph, Stunfisk, Lillipup, Chandelure, and Hydreigon EX. Once again, pulling out one of these textured EX cards. 2 more packs. Hollow Energy, once again. Basculin, Scraggy, Roggenrola, Gothita, Mandibuzz, Drudagon, Sharon, Gigalith, Swadloon, and Tornadus. Again, doubling up on those rares. This is our final White Flare pack. And I do believe we can get something cool out of it. I do think so. It's a possibility. We have Dark Energy, Lampent, Deerling, Mienfoo, Ducklet, Leopard, Excelgor, Mienshao, Blitzel for our one reverse, Scraggy for the other, and what is this? Cofagrigus. I guess it's Kaffa, like coffin. Cofagrigus. Cool card to end on, even if it's not a hyper rare. Alright, so these are going to be our White Flare pools, and you will notice slight edge to White Flare in terms of versus Black Bolt, but very similar pool rates. We got the 3 Hollow Energies, if you're counting those. A couple EX, regular EX cards, 1 of the special ones, a couple Full Arts, 1 special illustration rare, and then I'm going to just show you back to back here. Let's get rid of the Hollow Energies. So up top you have White Flare, down here you have Black Bolt. Very similar pull rates. I think we have to give the slight edge here to our White Flare friends, just because this is the rarest card we pulled all day, and we have slightly more. But otherwise, look at how similar the pull rates are. You have the EX, Special EX, 2 of the Full Arts, slightly different because this one is a Full Art Trainer card. But then, yeah, you have the Whimsicott, which gives a pretty huge edge there to White Flare. So I don't think you're going to find any difference in the pull rates yourself. You know, it could go either way. If you're also buying a box of Black Bolt and of White Flare, you might find more in Black Bolt, you might find more in White Flare. Odds are just that. They're just odds. I will say that I think I got cooler cards out of White Flare, and I'm not just saying that because of the Whimsicott, but I'm a little more into just Full Art cards. It's cool to see N again, but like we've seen a lot of him in Journey Together, so having him make an appearance here is not necessary to me, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want to drop some comments down below. Again, would love it if you liked and subscribed to Weekend Chase, because we do videos like this and we have a lot of fun and I'd like to share more of them with you. Thanks again for watching. All music is by 1 Billion Ideas. Please check them out on all music platforms. And I hope to see you next time on another video.